Slave contracts are some of the first things you hear about when you first get into K-pop. You know, the terrible legally binding contracts that take away the freedom of idols and put it in the hands of huge corporations that will exploit them for 7 years and then expect them to re-sign again. However, recently, we've noticed a significant shift in the way that contracts are dealt with. Seeing that artists are refusing to be subjected to being treated like they're less than human from these companies is a step towards a brighter future. And all we can say is, finally! Slave contracts in K-pop, by definition, refer to long-term, unfair agreements which are signed between an artist or an idol and an entertainment company. These contracts are exploitative in nature as they're excessively long and include terrible working conditions, unfair profit distribution, and even excessive control over the lives of the idols. And these contracts have existed for as long as the industry has, but SM Entertainment has become pretty notorious for them. The company is basically credited for popularizing slave contracts and bringing it into the mainstream. It all came to the public's attention when 3 members of Dolbang Shingi, Hiro Daejung, Miki Yuton, and Chia Junsu filed a report against SM Entertainment in July of 2009, citing unfair contract terms and income distribution as the reason for taking legal action. The main issue that was raised by the members included the excessive length of their contracts, which was 13 years by the way, unfair profit distribution, and their limited control over their activities and personal lives. The details of the contract that were revealed later on were even more horrendous. According to the contract, SM took half of the profit and the members took the other half. However, that didn't matter much as that half was spent whenever Dolbang Shingi had overseas promotions and they had to pay for the costs, including the stylists, dancers, and the other staff. Moreover, if their albums didn't sell more than 500,000 copies, they got no money, but if they did sell well, the members still got pretty much nothing. To make things worse, SM took all the earnings when the members appeared on variety show and broadcast promotions, and the copyright for self-composed tracks and basically every right for their songs all belonged to the company. But if their contract had expired and the members had decided not to renew, they would not have been able to use the song that they composed themselves without getting permission from SM Entertainment. So yes, SM's control over the group wouldn't have gone away even if the members hadn't been contractually tied to the agency. What's more, at the time of the lawsuit filing in 2009, even if SM Entertainment and Dolbang Shingi had come to a mutual agreement to terminate the contract, Dolbang Shingi would have had obligations as they were expected to pay 3 times the amount of promotion fees and twice the amount of their profits to SM. The lawsuit opened a floodgate of discussion about the unfair contracts that were legally binding idols to being mistreated by their companies. Hangang, who used to be a member of Super Junior, filed a lawsuit in the same year over the long-term cruel contract. Luhan, Tao, and Chris, former members of EXO, also individually filed lawsuits against SM to invalidate their contracts. The legal actions were initiated at different times, with Chris being the first to file in 2014. Following him, both Luhan and Tao also filed lawsuits seeking to terminate their exclusive contracts. It even caused the Korea Fair Trade Commission to conduct an investigation of 20 different entertainment companies in 2009, which revealed that all of the 230 contracts that were signed by artists had unfair contract terms, and one company didn't even give their artists a contract to sign. The contracts that were investigated had given the company full rights to invade the artist's privacy, and it required them to give their managers a report of their location at all times and get permission to travel overseas. Furthermore, the contracts imposed limitations on the freedom to pursue other occupations. The terms specified that celebrities would be prohibited from engaging in any entertainment activities after the contract's termination, and that they would require permission to pause or retire from their activities while the contract was still in effect. To address the controversy surrounding contracts in the entertainment industry, the Fair Trade Commission introduced new regulations. In 2009, the FTC reduced the maximum duration of contracts from 13 years to 7 years. This change aimed to provide artists with more flexibility. Furthermore, in 2017, the FTC implemented reforms regarding financial penalties for terminated contracts with trainees. They also introduced clauses that made it harder for companies to exert pressure on idols to renew their contracts after they expire. These measures were intended to create a fairer environment for artists in the industry. Considering all this, you'd think that these issues would be long over by now and that slave contracts would be problems of the past, but unfortunately, that's not the case. However, idols are taking a stance now and not letting companies treat them like they're less than human. The BAP members took legal action against their agency, TS Entertainment, in 2014 to terminate their contracts, citing unfair treatment. They argued that the contracts heavily favored the company, allowing them to profit, while the members themselves received no compensation. These contracts also included unjust conditions, such as extending the members' obligations with the agency beyond the initially agreed upon 7 years. This extension would begin not from the contract signing date, but from the release of their first album. Former 101 members Lai Guanlin and Kang Daniel also filed lawsuits to terminate their contracts with their agency. Lai Guanlin claimed that the agency kept overworking him to the point that they would add schedules schedules to his calendar without consulting with him first. Kang Daniel also sued his agency, and the legal battle was so hard on him that he got diagnosed with depression. More recently, we have the cases of Luna and Omega X, who went through horrible cases and sent their companies to court because of it. Chu from Luna successfully had her exclusive contract with BlackBerry Creative nullified, allowing her to manage her individual activities independently. However, she still had a contract with the company when it came to Luna's group activities, and it was one which had the members earning nothing. So Chu insisted on strict adherence to the terms of the contract, and in retaliation for Chu fighting for her rights, BlackBerry Creative kicked her out of the group and the company, not knowing that they also started a chain reaction within the group. Chu's removal led the other members of Luna to file a lawsuit against the company, with 6 of them successfully terminating their contracts, while the others are still actively pursuing legal action. Omega X also filed a legal injunction last year to invalidate their contract due to documented instances of mistreatment by the CEO of their company and the staff. The evidence, captured on camera, was substantial enough for the court to rule in their favor. As a result, Omega X is now operating independently and continues to collaborate on music together. It's refreshing to see the new generations of idols speak out against unfair treatment, which is also bringing attention to widespread issues in the industry. By sharing their experiences, they're shining a light on problems and starting some much-needed discussion among their peers and higher-ups in the industry, like lengthy contracts, limited creative freedom, and unfair profit sharing. This increased transparency sparks important discussions among fans about the industry standards and pushes companies to reevaluate their practices, prioritizing the well-being and rights of their artists. We're even witnessing idols who have been victims of slave contracts start their own agencies, in which artists are going to be treated with respect and appreciated. In 2019, Kang Daniel, who was once a victim of unfair treatment by his company, made headlines by launching his very own agency, Connect Entertainment. Daniel took charge of his own career and established a platform to showcase his talent. Connect Entertainment also manages other artists such as Chancellor and CL. Following their departure from Cube Entertainment, the members of Highlight made a significant decision to establish their own agency called Around Us Entertainment. Knowing that nobody can manage their activities as a group better than the members, the company was specifically established to handle all their future group promotions. Currently, the label exclusively represents the members of Highlight, and frankly, it's been going well for them so far. Following the expiration of their contract with Good Entertainment, Shinhwa also took the initiative to establish their own company to oversee their group activities. In this new venture, Eric and Minu assumed the roles of co-CEOs, while the remaining members became shareholders in the company. It's worth noting that the management of their individual activities is still handled by the respective agencies. This strategic move empowers Shinhwa to have greater control over their group endeavors. Most recently, Infinite announced a comeback as a full group, which is happening under their own agency. Infinite Company has been established as an agency by the members solely dedicated to managing the group activities. After their contracts with Ulim Entertainment expired, each member signed with different companies. Under the leadership of Kim Song-gyu, who will serve as the president, the other 5 members will provide their full support. Notably, Infinite Company has also acquired the naming rights to the band's name, Infinite, from Ulim Entertainment. In an unconditional and cost-free gesture to celebrate Kim Song-gyu's birthday in April, the founder and president of Ulim Entertainment, Lee Jong-yup, transferred the rights to Infinite Company, a move which was applauded by netizens who were so used to companies being bitter and petty over their artists leaving companies to establish their own careers or even agencies. In summary, we are currently witnessing a significant change in the K-pop industry where idols are reclaiming control over their lives and careers. The era of slave contracts that suffocate their freedom is gradually becoming a thing of the past thanks to the bold endeavors of these artists who fearlessly demand fair treatment and assert their rights. Hope you enjoyed today's video. Share your thoughts in the comments down below, and thank you for watching. Bye!